about defined tests. Based to our research, a procedure intended to quality, performance, or reliability of something, especially before it is taken to widespread use. So, seems to be saying here, established quality, performance, or reliability of method, an object, before it is propagated. Different type of tests. Why do we have a test? Tests have many purposes of our school. I will give you some ideas, guys. First, to assess a student understanding of a given topic within a subject and identify what they have learned. So, he seems to be saying here, kailangan masuri ang pag-unawa ng isang mag-aaral sa naibigay na paksa at kailangan kilalanin kung ano ang natutunan nito. Two type of tests. First, subjective. Usually essay or brief type of question. Second, objective. Response correct, punctual response from 2 or more sentences. Subjective test sample. First, short essay, a phrase, a couple of sentences. Long essay, 3 sentences, several pages. Maybe the short essay only contains 1 phrase o isang pares ng pangungusap. In the long essay, he seems 3 sentences or several pages. And this is my topic.
What is the relationship of testing to assessment? Tests and assessment are used interchangeably, but they do mean something different. A test is a product that measures a particular behavior or set of objectives. Meanwhile, assessment is seen as a procedure instead of a product. Assessment is used during or after the instruction has taken place. Define measurement. Measurement is a numerical quantification of the attributes of an object or event, which can be used to compare with other object or event. The scope and application of measurement are dependent on the context and discipline.
I'm Bia Rose M. De Guzman from BPE 22 and I discuss the topic about the types of measurement. Generally, there are 3 types of measurement. First is direct. Direct is to find the length of table involves direct measurement and this is always accurate if the tool is valid. Second is indirect. Indirect, to know the quantity of heat contained by a substance, involves indirect measurement, for we have to first find out the temperature of the substance. And last, the relative. Relative is to measure the intelligence of a boy, involves relative measurement, for the score obtained by the boy in an intelligence test is compared with norms. The next topic is relationship of measurement to test. Every time a test is used, it must have its score called measurement. A test are a specific instrument for measurement. Administration of a test is a process of measurement. Without test, measurement is not possible. Measurement is a technique necessary for education. It represents the status of a certain attributes or properties and is a terminal process.
What is assessment for learning? Assessment for learning is an approach to teaching and learning that creates feedback which is then used to improve students' performance. What is importance of assessment? Assessment plays an important role in process of learning and motivation. The types of assessment tasks that we ask our students to do determine how students will approach the learning task and what student behavior they will use. What is assessment of learning? Assessment of learning is the snapshot in time that let the teacher, students, and their parents know how well each student has completed the learning tasks and activities. First, we have diagnostic assessment used to identify current knowledge or misconception about a topic. Formative assessment used to provide feedback during the instructional process. Summative assessment used to sum up learning at the end of a instructional process.
Hello guys, I'm Professor Digato from BPE 22 and my topic is about assessment of learning. What is assessment of learning? Assessment of learning refers to a strategy designed to confirm what student knows or what they will demonstrate. Two types of assessment of learning: summative and formative assessment. What is formative assessment? Formative assessment is to monitor student from learning to provide ongoing feedback that can be used by instructors to improve their teaching and by student to improve their learning. Formative assessment helps students. Formative assessment helps students by knowing their targets and their weakness and also their strengths. Formative assessment examples: impromptu quizzes, anonymous voting, short comparative assessment. Example of formative assessment question: age matters in love? After that question, you will answer it with all of your knowledge. So the second one is summative assessment. What is summative assessment? Is to evaluate student learning at the end of an instructional unit by comparing it against some standard or benchmark. Assessments are high stakes, which means they have often high point value. What is summative questions? Summative questions are answerable by true or false, yes or no, or multiple choices.
Before we start with the topic, first we must know what is the difference between assessment and evaluation, and also what is the purpose of assessment and evaluation. Well, the basic difference is assessment is made to identify the level of performance of the individual, whereas evaluation is performed to determine the degree to which goals are attained. Well, the main difference between assessment and evaluation lies in the orientation, wherein assessment is the process oriented and evaluation is the product oriented. The purpose of assessment is to gather relevant information about student performance or progress, or to determine students' interest to make judgments about their learning process. Evaluation is to make judgments about a program to improve itself, its effectiveness, and or to inform programming decision.
What is evaluation? Well, evaluation is a strategy used to collect information based on the evidence to modify the system of learning. It also includes repeated assessment, assess on grades, and it may reflect classroom components rather than course content and mastery level. These include the discussion, cooperation, the attendance, and also verbal ability. It is also a process of observing and measuring a thing for the purpose of judging it and of determining its value, either by comparison to similar things or to a standard. Evaluation of teaching means passing judgment on it as part of an administrative process. For example of evaluate is when a teacher reviews a paper or activities in order to give it a grade. We have kinds or fields of evaluation. There are evaluation by the objectives, evaluation by the competencies, achievements, performance, outcomes, and also evaluation by the process. Assessment versus evaluation. What is assessment, by the way? Assessment is the systematic process of documenting and using empirical data on the knowledge, skills, attitudes, and also beliefs. By taking the assessment, teachers try to improve students' learning. For example, asking the students to draw a concept map in class to represent what they're understanding about the topic, or submit one or two sentences identifying the main point of a lecture. And also, evaluation is a final review on your instruction to gauge the quality. It's product-oriented. This means that the main question is, what's been learned? Finally, evaluation is judgmental. The main focus on evaluation will be the grades and takes into consideration other components like discussions, attendance, and cooperation. Evaluation is a summative and product-oriented, while assessment is more towards gauging performance in order to improve teaching, learning, and the outcomes. It's ongoing and process-oriented, which can also be diagnostic in nature but not graded. Information is mostly learner-centered and course-based. The both assessment and evaluation requires a criteria, both uses measures, and they both are evidence-driven.